Welcome, everybody, to the fourth edition of the Gator World P2E and Web3 Weekly Convo. This is the show where we introduce you to new projects and the creators of those projects of both Web3 and P2E spaces. I'm Gator Spearfish, the project manager of Gator World NFT, and today I'm joined by a great lineup of Web3 creators. And actually, the best part of this for you, the listeners, that you could go to GatorWorldNFT.com right now, play our P2E game, and win whitelist spots for some of those projects. So it's a really interactive show where you can win ETH, NFTs, whitelist spots from really cool projects. And that is a gas-free NFT game. And before we get started today, I would like to mention something. Actually, Shine's Kingdom was scheduled. It was a project scheduled to speak in our space today. They signed up just a couple days ago. It was a free mint, and they rugged. So we got news of that last night, that Shine's Kingdom has rugged. It was a free mint, but there were some secondary market sales, and they Discord, they erased all their tweets. So some people did lose out on some money. So just be careful, everyone. Always do your own research. As you know, this isn't financial advice. We produce this show each week to spread information to help move the space forward. But unfortunately, there are a lot of bad actors out there. So make sure you do your due diligence. Okay, so let's go to our projects. Let's get right into it. This is a roundtable discussion. I have a few questions lined up. I'll read the questions, and then our guests will take turns answering. So each of you will have about 3 or 4 chances to speak. All right, so let's start by briefly introducing yourselves and giving us an overview of your project. Why don't we start with Galactic Mice?
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. So a quick one. Is it okay to pin anything, just to give people a brief,
Sure, no problem. Go for it.
Let me get it up there for you all, so you can have a look, obviously, what we've made and what we've got running at the moment.
Your project actually seems very interesting. When you showed me, there's kind of like an umbrella of a GameFi network, and you have a number of projects under that umbrella. Tell us about that.
That's correct. So the company's called GameFi. We're based in Switzerland, and we have multiple games underneath the umbrella. So we have a TCG in development. We also have the Sideswipe game you see up there. Or it's like an attack. There's different missions. So you've got you have to guide the spaceship to the end of the map. You've got waves. You've got leaderboard, weekly challenges. The beta is actually live at the moment for this game. So the NFTs you see in my profile picture, that'll give you access to 5 games that are in development at this moment of time. One game is actually live on Apple and Android, which is free to play. But obviously, to get the extra benefit, you will have to own an NFT to give you access to the play to earn. But yeah, that's just a brief little thing. Have a view, and any questions, go ahead.
So tell us about Galactic Mice. So basically, there's 3 tokens, I understand, as far as what you told me in the message.
Yeah. So we have PUGG, Metra, and Kai. Metra will be the in-game currency. PUGG will obviously, so you've got 3 tokens. Metra is going to be used for the Galactic Mice / Cyber Rogues. And then Kai is going to be used for the TCG. And then you got PUGG as just a stable coin to buy in-game assets. And then you can actually arbitrage between each coin. So you can go up and down the tokenomics. So you can actually trade on the coin, which is also cool. So if one coin's moving up, you can also arbitrage and obviously make some money to buy in-game assets and so on. So for me to explain, it's probably easier if I release a video, but that's something I'll do at the end of the, obviously, space.
Okay, great. Well, that's very interesting, and we'll get more into that in a little while. Let's move on to Thug City. Why don't you give us a brief introduction about your project and everything that's going on there? Thug City? You have to unmute your mic in the bottom left there, Thug. All right, while he's figuring that out, let's move on to SnakeX. SnakeX, why don't you tell us all about your project? And you have a Snake Arcade in the works. Let's hear it.
Firstly, thank you so much for having us. And thank you so much to everyone in the audience for tuning in. I'm Michael from SnakeX, and basically I'm in charge of all the tech that relates to the project. So I'll give one long sentence describing the project, and then I'll talk about the parts relevant to this discussion. So SnakeX is basically a reimagined take on the NFT ecosystem, featuring a play-to-earn arcade product lines, native token based on a high-concept cinematic universe revolving around a post-apocalyptic snake-themed narrative. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to dive into the lore too much, but basically, we are currently spending a lot of time developing a narrative and a universe that makes sense, and we believe that the lore is what drives the creation of the play-to-earn arcade and the product lines, the merchandise, and so on and so forth. So yeah, essentially, like, that's where our project is essentially grounded in. And yeah, I mean, we'll discuss more about that as this discussion goes on. But what I'll talk really briefly about is the play-to-earn arcade. So in our first phase, we're going to be building essentially like as I mentioned, an arcade. And yeah, this essentially borrows from the traditional arcade model. Like, if you think about a Dave and Buster's, essentially we sort of have a model that has 3 stages. So the first stage is that you will be able to stake your Genesis snake to earn what we call minutes. So on a daily basis, you're going to earn, say, 30 minutes. And what that grants you access to is 30 minutes worth of playtime in the arcade, and you can play like any of the mini games that we have. And yeah, so based on your performance during the games, you'll earn, and then dependent on your score, you'll earn what we call tickets. And with those tickets, you'll be able to redeem the native snake token. So yeah, essentially there are 3 stages to actually playing, well, not so much playing the game, but rather getting to the point where you can redeem tokens. So it's not like a passively kind of generated source token source. So essentially, yeah, I mean, that is our play-to-earn arcade model, and yeah, this is all detailed in a white paper over at snakex.io. But yeah, essentially that's what I think covers the play-to-earn aspect of the project, and yeah, we'll see where this develops as the discussion goes on.
That sounds really interesting. And everyone listening, don't forget you could win 5 whitelist spots for SnakeX by playing game Chomp on GatorWorldNFT.com. You'll see that in the pinned tweet. You'll see the schedule of all tournaments for this week right there on the top of your screen. All right. Do we have Thug City? Is Thug City working with their mic now? I think so.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity, Gato. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'll go right into the project. So Talk City is a play-to-earn staking game on the Ethereum blockchain network where cops and talks compete and build. So basically, it's more of like a story about the city, the Talk City. So we have basically 2 major characters, the cops and the talks. So, and then currently for this season 1, because we are working on doing more seasons, so this is the first season. So definitely after selling out and everything, it won't be like just a one-time project. We'll definitely do a season 2 and then subsequently. So we're working on the distribution of 1,000 cops and 9,000 talks, so that in the ratio of 9-1. So total supply would be 10,000, and then each wallet is allowed to mint up to 5 characters. So what it entails is that those when minting, after minting your character, you can stake your NFTs and earn Bills token. So Bills token, BILLS, it's the in-game token there. So more of like after buying the NFT, staking, you earn. So even though you don't stake, you earn daily bills. So the staking, it consists of you staking your character at a particular place, because in the city there are different locations. So that is there are different locations, from the hotels, the apartment, the police station, so the casinos, the armory. So you stake your characters there, and then those characters will be able to perform different different tasks, that is, for cops, as you know, guiding the city, make sure that every crime is being solved. And then for talks, at least they have to perform like the normal way. They have to perform different tasks, missions too, to be able to end those bills. So, and how successful you're able to finish those tasks successfully, those bills will be you end those bills. So also there's the prison too. So, and then also there's a level of weapons there. So based on from level 1 to level 4, so you can be able to purchase those weapons. So based on how high your weapon is, you can be able to accomplish many tasks successfully.
Nice.
So basically, so thank you. Definitely we'll come back to this.
No problem. Thank you. It sounds very interesting. The dynamic of the pins and the cops and the thugs sounds like something I definitely want to look into. Actually, I'd like to give a shout out to Leo Dev in the listener section there. He was actually the developer behind our game Chomp. If you have any questions or any technical questions, that's your guy. So big shout out to him. And we'll actually put him on the board of speakers. So if you guys have any questions about technical stuff, that aspect, he's the one to ask. How you doing, Leo?
Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm here hearing about your projects.
Very good, man. Very good. Nice to have you here. All right, so let's move.
Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, no problem. Let's move on to PUGG. PUGG, I saw, is some sort of a metaverse game. It looks really interesting. The graphics are super amazing. And let's get into what they're offering. What are you offering here, PUGG? Tell us a little bit about your project.
Okay. First, our PUGG is short for a Unity game, and so I'm still not used to with the name PUGG, but it's interesting. So hi everyone, and for our game, which is already launched on Steam now, and it was launched on actually the 28th of July, just several days ago. And when you log into our game, for the character, there are two parts for the play to earn. For our characters, he needs to work and for riding the bicycles. So by riding the bicycles can support the planet with the electricity. This is the system of. This is the system in our game. So in this case, after you purchase our NFT, you are allowed to work in the planet by riding the bicycles and to provide the electricity for the whole planet. The other part is that for our character in the game, he has his own apartment, and you can display the 2D NFTs in the apartment on the wall. And for the 3D NFTs in the future, such as the accessories, the clothes and shoes, it can be wear on our character as well. So it's going to be a new way to display to others for the NFTs. And we are going to creating a new scenarios for no matter for buying or selling NFTs. It's going to be different from the previous ways for purchasing the NFTs on the web pages. So we are providing a new options for the consumers. These are the two main parts regarding the play to earn in our game so far. That's it. Thank you.
That's very interesting. And you said that the game is already available on Steam?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody go check that out and give them a try. It's really cool. The graphics are really cool. I saw him go. It's like a pig-looking character that walks on his hind legs, and he was running around the city. Everything looks really sharp with the art there. Okay,
Exactly.
so moving on to our second question. Okay, so outside the game itself, when one of our listeners goes to OpenSea or Magic Eden or any other secondary marketplace, what will they look at your collection? What does your collection consist of? Let's start with Galactic Mice. And Pug, if you could just mute your mic, that'd be great. Thank you.
So we actually haven't launched a collection yet, but it's going to be a 7777 collection. We've released the gem rules, which are 25 collection, and basically their owners are basically going to get a % of who earn to play. So the floor price for the side rogues at the moment is between 2 ETH. They're sitting at, which is a good floor price in my opinion. So the 777, they will obviously be basically the army for the gem rules, and this way the people playing will give a share to the gem rules of each game earning. But yeah.
All right. Okay. So the same question now for Thug City. When someone goes to OpenSea or wherever you are going to, OpenSea, you're on Ethereum. What would the people see when they open your collection? Take a look at it.
Okay, basically, they would see the different characters to mint. So basically.
Right, and how do those differentiate? I know there's cops, there's robbers. Can you go through those numbers again? And do they all have different traits? Is there different rarities that make some more powerful than others?
Yes.
How does it work?
They have different traits. In particular, there's no two characters that are the same. Each is designed in a very unique DNA. So each and everyone has his or our own different his traits in particular. So they are not the same thing. So that's where it comes to like more of like the fashion of designing that particular cups and everything, because there will be like a medium in which you can be able to design your character to your own to your own taste. You understand? So more like just
so you
unique.
You can customize your own
character.
character?
Yes, exactly. You can customize your own character.
Very nice. So that's pretty interesting. All right,
Exactly.
SnakeX. Same question. So what does your collection consist of?
Sorry, did you say SnakeX?
Excuse me?
Sorry, did you say SnakeX?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay.
So
All right.
When someone goes to check out your collection on secondary market, where are they gonna find?
All right, cool. Yeah, sorry, I missed that bit out when you said SnakeX, but yeah. So we haven't minted yet. Actually, we're still in the phase of building up our community towards our Genesis collection. So I'll speak a little bit about what the Genesis collection consists of, and like I guess and what you could see on OpenSea once you have minted out. So yeah, our Genesis collection essentially has a supply of 1,001 snakes, and this is going to consist of 250 snakes per breed, and we have 4 breeds in total. So that's Cobra X, Rattle X, Anaconda X, and Viper X. And we're also going to be including the Chosen One, which is the leader of all the snakes, which is also that whole idea is brought to life in our story and all the films that we have. Some short films that we have created to lay the foundation of the story. So, yeah, I mean, each NFT will definitely have a multitude of different traits, and there's the whole thing about like rarities involved with each NFT. But with regards to specific details, we haven't revealed that as of yet. But what I can say is that depending on what kind of snake that you own, they would potentially give you advantages in certain games depending on what kind of abilities and traits that they have. So I guess to give a little bit more of an example, for example, if we since it's a play to earn arcade, there's a whole range of different kinds of kind of games we can do. So for example, if you think about a retro snake spin on for example a game like Temple Run or Pac-Man, certain snakes could have different abilities tailored to the breed, as well as certain unique, more powerful abilities, and this could tie into the ability to earn points in certain games. So yeah, in terms of details, I can't speak too much about that yet, but yeah, I hope that gives an overview of what the snakes would consist of. And yeah, I mean, if you take a look at the collection on OpenSea, the metadata is going to contain all of that information about like its attributes and like what kinds of powers it has. So yeah, I mean, I hope that answered the question. There's nothing concrete that we can share as of yet. I mean, especially since we haven't actually minted. But yeah, I mean, I hope that gives everyone an idea of what to expect.
And that's very interesting. I'm actually a big fan, and we at Gatorworld are a big fan of including rarities in the value. When we created our game, we set 7 different rarity categories, and depending on the rarity, you get a certain amount of turns. So, like, the more rare, obviously, you get more turns, because we just saw so many occasions where people would buy rare NFTs in a collection, and the rarity just did absolutely nothing. So when they ended up selling it on the secondary market, you know, they wouldn't get any more value a lot of times. So we tried to change that, and I like that what you're doing there too. Okay, so here's someone. Actually, okay, they muted their mic. No problem. I heard some keystrokes there. But okay, so moving on to PUGG. Tell us about your collection and what it consists of.
Okay, and we will have the Genesis collection and about 5 collections based on our characters, and we will also have the accessories NFT collection. And the biggest difference for our NFT is like this. Besides OpenSea and Magic Eden, for our buyers who mint our NFTs, since our mobile version of our game is going to be launched in the end of August, and for our buyers of NFTs in September, they can log into our game and open the blind boxes in our game and to experience a whole new way to purchase NFT and got their NFTs in our game. So that's the biggest difference. So,
can you tell me again? So it's not PUGG, it's PUGG. Is that how we?
Yeah. Play Unity Good Game, not really PUGG.
Okay, well, I guess it's a nickname then, PUGG.
Nickname. It's very cute as being PUGG. That's true. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So moving forward in your collections, so what does the future hold? Tell us what the future holds for each of your projects. We'll start with Galactic, Mice, and the GameFi umbrella.
Yeah, so at this moment of time, we're focusing on the 360 play and also multiplayer. So multiplayer is being developed as we speak. So obviously, we want to focus on people actually having fun on playing the game. We don't want people just to play the game to earn rewards. We want people to interact with their friends and actually get addicted to the game. The feedback we've had from obviously the beta testers at the moment, we've got 200 beta testers. It's been very positive, and if I haven't said before, anyone does want access to the beta, please DM me after this and I can give you access, because we want honest feedback. Development wise, I mean, we just want more games and games and games. Like I was saying, you've got a TCG also in development. You can check out the artwork, it looks awesome. But we want to be a gaming hub. That is our future. We want to be a gaming hub and have games underneath us. So that's why we have the company called GameFi, and then the games that are all branching off, as you can see, that I've sent you in the DMs before.
Very nice, very nice. And anyone that has any questions in the audience, we can do a quick Q&A at the end. Just raise your hand and request to speak. This is something that we set up with the speakers of the projects previously. So actually, if you have a project and you'd like to speak on one of these shows, just shoot us a DM at the Gator World Twitter account, and we'll set you up for next week. Okay, moving on to the next project. Let's go with Thug City. What does the future hold for Thug City?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity again. So the future is very bright for Thug City, because in the future we will be seeing many new cities. You understand? So many new cities, not particular. So the city in season 2 would be more, and then not really like the one in season 1. So each new city again will have new missions, buildings, and opportunities for users to generate income. So assets from our previous city will be exchangeable in the new city. So which at the end of the day we're looking to provide assurance that no asset in the game will lose a significant value. So basically, so we want to the aim is we want to grow with everyone in the future. So and then those leader that I talked about leaderboard because we'll have a leaderboard with various rewards. So and this reward will be available for exchange. Yes, as I have said. So as the game progresses into new seasons in the into more seasons in the future, more prizes will be there. So thank you.
Very interesting, and evolution is great. Updating the game and adding new things to keep it fresh is always really important.
Exactly. So that's why we're even working. The liquidity pool allocation will also be worked at that point in time. So 10% of the net revenue that will be generated will be allocated to the liquidity pool, which will be locked for the duration of our project. So together with that.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, snakes. Let me clarify this because I got a message here. Is it SnakeX or is it snakes first?
Yeah, it's SnakeX. Like SpaceX.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I thought. Someone said it is pronounced a little differently in message, but okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I didn't even catch the little pun of SpaceX and SnakeX. Okay, so tell us, what's the future of SnakeX hold?
Yeah, for sure. So if we talk about, so again, we're currently in the community building stage. So what we're working towards is the Genesis Mint. And yeah, beyond that, as outlined in the roadmap, the future is going to hold a lot of exciting things. So I'll speak specifically about Play to Earn. So for the Play to Earn arcade, because of the fact that it's an arcade, it's not just like, one big game. What everyone can look forward to essentially is that we're not going to be releasing 5 games at once upon mint being completed. It's not going to work like that. But essentially, what we're going to be doing is taking a more incremental approach. So we can release like a pair of games, so like 2 to 3 games at once, and continue to just build upon that because essentially again it's a collection of mini games and yeah, the idea of having whatever collection of mini games you have, you can expand on it so much, and there's so many ideas out there we can explore. So, yeah, I mean that's something that people can look forward to in terms of it might get boring after a while, if you play the same games over and over again. So this is how we intend to diversify the whole experience, and yeah, I mean beyond that, I can speak about we currently have some short films that are out. It's like 30 seconds to a minute long page. And we have Snake Tales, which is an animated series. And it's sort of like, snake spins on popular TikTok trends and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more lighthearted. So essentially, what we can see moving forward is development of all of that in various regards, such as creating these films, comics, and really expanding out the entire story. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a franchise, so that is going to expand way beyond a Play to Earn arcade. It is because of the fact that we're intending to go into creating a product line and merchandise. So yeah, essentially that's what people can look forward to. Because at the end of the day, because we're trying to build a franchise here. You should just think back to franchises like Star Wars or Rick and Morty, or The Simpsons. I guess that could be an example as well. So yeah, I mean those are all products that are not products but franchises that are grounded based on a story, and yeah, the potential for expansion and mainstream adoption is truly there because of the fact that there's story being told at the end of the day. So yeah, I mean, I hope that answered the question of what everyone can look forward to, as part of the SnakeX community. So yeah.
Absolutely. And like you said before, the lore does drive a lot of this stuff. We too are going to be producing an animated series. Let me ask you a question. Are you using Character Animator or another software for that? What are you using currently to do your animation?
Sorry. So the animation is handled by our artist Will. And I believe it's through Adobe After Effects. So yeah, I believe that's how it's done. And I think there's some stuff he's used in Adobe Premiere Pro as well.
Right, yeah, the whole Adobe Creative Suite really lends a big thing, especially with the new character animator thing that I mentioned there. That software is pretty amazing. All right, so let's go on to PUGG, aka PUGG, at least today. Tell us a little bit about what the future holds for PUGG moving forward. Are you there? Okay, so PUGG might be having some sort of an issue, but we'll get to them if they can figure that out. So let's wrap it up pretty soon. Why don't we take turns with any closing remarks that maybe you forgot to mention throughout the show, or anything new that you'd like to state, as well as where we can find you, your website, all your socials, and so forth. Let's start with Galactic Mice.
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, just any closing remarks that you have, anything else that you'd like to add on that you think the listeners should know, and your website URL and any other place that we can find you on social media, etc.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a few things. So what we're trying to prove here, we actually started off as a rug pull going back 2 years ago. We got rugged by the old devs when the coin was just called Pika. There was no utility, nothing. It was just a meme coin. And obviously a team of us, 14 of us, took over, and we wanted to create something legit. That's why we become a corporation in Switzerland, to put trust, obviously, in the community, so they can trust us rather than all these rugs that are popping up at the moment and literally, taking a lot of money and no cares given. So
we literally had a project today scheduled. We talked to them 3 days ago, and yesterday they rug pulled. It's pretty unbelievable.
No way. But yeah, it blows my mind that people are still getting away with it, and it will catch up on them. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot. We have to be a lot more careful with obviously things we're implementing into the game and obviously into our space because of the laws and everything we have to follow. But regarding beta access, please just join our Discord or give me a DM and I'll give the beta. And give you early access to playing the game. The first 500 whitelists obviously get that NFT half price, so you won't pay full price. Obviously, you get an extra benefit from securing the spot. We've only just really opened up. I'm new to the spaces, so I'm a bit, getting used to it still. But I'm definitely going to be seeing myself around here a lot more often. But yeah, any questions, fire away.
Yeah, that sounds good. And moving forward, whenever you hit your milestones, some new milestones, we can have you back on to speak a little bit more about your project. Because I saw there was, do you have 4 games coming out at the moment? Is that correct?
Yeah, so that's correct. So a lot of these games obviously just sell an NFT and then they promise a game. You wanted to give something back to the community. They've waited a while. Like I said, everything's been self-funded so far. We've had no help from investors or nothing at this moment of time. We just obviously started phase 1. Reaching out to people. We're actually in Miami and Dubai at a conference. We're on stage for BSV in Dubai to present our game. So we're actually cross-chain, so we're on Ethereum and BSV. So we're creating the first bridge as well between the two chains, which is quite cool. So you'll be able to pay on BSV and earn Ethereum, or be able to play on Ethereum and earn BSV. So it's quite a cool aspect, obviously, bridging these two coins together, which hasn't been done before.
I really like that idea. Okay, so it looks like we have PUGG back, PUGG. Can you just tell us a little bit about the future? What does the future hold for PUGG moving forward?
Okay. Sorry, my connection is really bad for some reason. And for our game, we are taking our game as the entrance of metaverse. And what we want to do and the future for our game is like that. We want to create a new NFT transaction mode, which is visualized. In this case, it will be allowing NFT businesses to release NFTs in blind boxes displayed in a 3D virtual scene and use other new functions for free in PUGG Metaverse. So they do not need to build their own sales websites. And also solving the old problems of users not being able to get NFT customer service and allowing them to chat and interact with online NFT sales anytime. So when you purchase NFTs on the web page, it's really hard for the interactions between the sellers and buyers, and for the NFT holders when they are in our game, and it will be easier for them to display the NFTs, no matter for the 2D NFT to be displayed on the wall or the 3D NFTs to be wear on the character. It will be very easy for them to talk with each other and with the interactions to make the deals for the tradings easier and more convenient. So in this case, it will be GameFi, SocialFi, and with the combination for our project PUGG, and we also want to provide a new option to create an NFT marketplace in our game. So far, this is it.
All right. I think, I guess while we wait for them to get back on, I think I'll share what I had to say for with regards to the parting words for SnakeX in the meantime. So, I'll just keep it quick in case hopefully they regain connection soon. But so for SnakeX, for all those in the audience today, thank you for attending. And if you'd like to join our Discord server over at discord.gg/SnakeX, and if you're interested in a whitelist spot, you can talk to the founders. The founders are in the chat every day. And if you have any questions or would like to find out more information about our project, just head on over to snakex.io. And we host weekly game nights, which come with USDC prizes as well. So if anyone's interested in joining for that, please feel free to join the Discord and let us know you were in this space as well. So I see Gator World is back on, so I'll pass it back on over to you.
No problem, man. Thanks for the save. Quick thinking. I somehow got muted. I didn't know I pressed that. Okay, so PUGG, or PUGG, just before you found you on Steam, and was your web address and that stuff. Okay, so we're having a few issues here. Thug City, tell us your website address and any closing remarks, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Our website is www.talkcity.io. So from there, there's our white paper is accessible from there. So you get to see everything, and then also just wanted to share that we are live at Times Square Billboard today, which will be up today, 2nd of August, because we're minting on the 5th of August. So that's
very nice. Did you say you have a billboard in Times Square?
Yes, it was up today.
Very nice. Have any photos of that? We'd love to see that. Send them in. And this is all recorded on YouTube. We're going to put this on YouTube, so we'll put that in the video if you could send us a photo.
All right. When I'm able to get, I'll share with you. That's so and then the whitelist sale is on 5th of August, and then 6th of August the public sale. So at the rate of 0.09 Ethereum for whitelist sale, and then 0.1 Ethereum for public sale. So and then lastly, I just wanted to say that as I have already said, we have the staking and the unstaking aspect. So when you stake, you can earn more, but then also when you leave your NFT without staking, as I've said earlier, you earn your bills daily. You still earn the bills daily. That's the in-game token. So and then our Discord is discord.gg/TalkCity. So basically, you for audience here, they can join in, and then there's a lot of amazing content and then activities that are being held on the Discord channel Discord server every day in various channels.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Thug City. Okay, let's just see if PUGG has figured out their mic issue. Can you unmute your... There you go. Any closing remarks? And where can we find you on Steam? What's your web address? And so on and so forth.
Okay, if you want to search our game on Steam, you just type PUGG on Steam. You can find our game on Steam, and our website is www.pugg.io. And but our website is under construction recently because we want to improve it. And you can join our Discord. Monday is for a rest, and for the rest days there are different activities in our Discord. And for the whitelist, which will be in the early of September, and then it will be the public sale so far. And we are also going to post different activities by our Twitter, PUGG, and you can also follow us. There will be interactions between our followers and our project, and there will be a surprise bonus in some activities. That's it. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. And I'd like to thank you all for coming out today and listening for a panel of speakers. All of your projects seem really interesting, so make sure you go check them out. PUGG, the Galactic Mice, and the whole GameFi umbrella that they got going on over there. SnakeX with their Snake Arcade, and Thug City and the big things that they're doing over there. Sounds great, and I can't wait to see that Times Square billboard. Shout out to Leo Dev, that is the developer here at Gator World. He created our game. If you have any questions, that's the guy to talk to about your development.
Thanks for the shout out.
Okay, so we'll be resuming this next week, same time, same place, but actually it will be on Monday. So let's resume it then. And if you have a project, and if you are a listener, just shoot us a DM, and we could get you on the show and talk a little bit about your project. So thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for having us. See you guys.
Later.
Thanks for everything. See you next week.
Thank you so much, Gato, NFT. We really appreciate it.